I'm really glad you're here because today's episode is one that every English learner needs, whether you're A2, B1, B2, or even C1. Today, we're going to talk about something that confuses millions of learners: why fast English feels impossible and how to finally understand it. Before we begin, let me ask you something simple but important. Have you ever listened to English speakers in real life on YouTube, in movies, in interviews, or even on the street and felt like everything blended together? Like the words weren't individual words anymore, but one long sound. Maybe you understood the words in your textbook, but suddenly, real people talk and you think, I know these words, but I can't hear them. I understand slow English, but fast English feels impossible. If that sounds familiar, you're in exactly the right place. Because in today's episode, I'm going to show you why fast English sounds so difficult, what native speakers actually do when they talk quickly, and how you can train your ear step by step to understand natural English that English people use every single day. And here's the best part. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need a huge vocabulary. You just need the right listening habits, and we will build them together. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let's begin. Why fast English feels hard, the truth no one tells you. Most learners think fast English is difficult because native speakers talk too fast. But the real problem isn't speed, it's how the sounds change in real life. In school, teachers speak clearly, slowly, and carefully. What are you doing? I am going to eat. Do you want to come with me? Everything is clean and separate. But real English is not like that. So let's talk about 4 things that make fast English feel confusing, starting with the biggest one. 1. Connected speech. When native speakers talk, the words don't stay separate, they connect. Instead of saying, "What are you doing?" they say, "What you doing?" or "What you doing?" Instead of "Do you want to eat?" they say, "Do you wanna eat?" The words blend, merge, and slide into each other. This is why you often hear the sentence, but don't recognize the words. Your ears are waiting for textbook English, but real English sounds like one long sound. 2. Reduced sounds. Native speakers reduce sounds because it's faster and easier. For example, want to, wanna, going to, gonna, have to, got you, gotcha. If you wait to hear going to, you'll miss it because no one says it clearly at normal speed. Real English uses reduced forms every day, in every situation. 3. Rhythm and stress. This is something most learners never learn in school. English is not spoken with equal stress. Some words are strong and clear, and others are soft, short, and almost invisible. For example, I'm gonna go to the store after work. You hear gonna, go, store, work, but the smaller words I'm to the after almost disappear. This rhythm makes English sound fast, even when it isn't. 4. Informal English and everyday expressions. Native speakers use casual language all the time, even at work, even in serious conversations. For example, how are you? How you doing? Did you eat yet? Cheat yet? Are you comin'? You comin'? If you don't know these expressions, fast English feels like a secret code. And let's not forget accents. English from the US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. Each one sounds different. Even inside one country, accents change. A New Yorker and someone from Texas both speak English, but very differently. Your brain needs time to adjust. So why does this matter? Because fast English isn't actually fast. It's connected, reduced, rhythmic, and informal. Once you understand these patterns, English becomes predictable. Your ears start catching the sounds automatically, and your confidence grows. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what to listen for, and you'll feel more prepared than ever to understand real English in the real world. Now that we've talked about why fast English feels so difficult, let's go a little deeper. Let's look at how native speakers actually speak, not in textbooks, not in language apps, but in real life. Because once you understand the patterns behind natural speech, your brain will stop feeling surprised, and you will start recognizing fast English instantly. And the amazing part, these patterns repeat again and again in every country where English is spoken. So let's break them down clearly and simply. 1. Linking when two words become one. Linking is everywhere in natural English. Your teacher might say, "Turn off the light." But a native speaker normally says, "Turn off the light," or even "turn off the light." The sounds jump smoothly from one word to another. Here are some very common examples you hear every day. Look at it. Look at it. Talk to me. Talk to me. Take a look. Take a look. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. None of these are slang. They're simply how fluent speakers connect sounds. Think of it like this. Your brain thinks in words, but native speakers speak in sound groups. That's why at first, everything feels too fast. 2. Contractions, short forms you hear constantly. Contractions make English smoother and quicker. I am, I'm, you are, your, they will, they'll, we have, we've, she would, she'd. In formal writing, these might feel optional, but in real conversation, they're almost mandatory. For example, nobody says, "I am going to see my friend because I have some free time." Instead, they naturally say, "I'm going to see my friend because I've got some free time." The speed comes from how the words shrink. 3. Dropped sounds when parts of words disappear. Native speakers often drop sounds simply because it's easier for the mouth. Next week, most people, most is people. Just try it. Just try it. One of the most common examples is, "I don't know." You rarely hear it clearly. It becomes, "I don't know" or "dunno." And it still means the exact same thing. This is not sloppy English, it is natural English. 4. Rhythm, the secret music of English. English has a natural rhythm. Some words are stressed, and some words shrink. Let's look at a simple sentence. "I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee before work." Native speakers highlight, "Gonna grab cup coffee work." Meanwhile, "I'm's a of before become very light." If you try to hear every tiny word, you'll feel lost. But if you listen for the strong words, the meaning becomes clear. This rhythm exists in every English-speaking country, even though accents differ. 5. Everyday English expressions you hear all the time. Fast English becomes easier when you know the phrases people use constantly. Here are some expressions that appear in conversations every day. "Hang on a sec, wait a moment." "Hold on, pause." Wait, I'll catch you later. See you later. No worries, it's okay, don't worry. Sounds good, I agree. Go ahead, you can do it. Continue, let me see, thinking, checking. These aren't advanced expressions. They're real, common, natural English, the kind you'll hear in cafes, offices, families, and friendships. When you recognize these expressions automatically, your brain spends less energy trying to guess each sound. Why understanding these patterns matters. Maybe you've had this experience. You watch a movie scene. The actors speak normally, you understand. Nothing. Then you read the subtitles and think, oh, I know every word, so why didn't I hear them? Because you were expecting full words, but they were speaking real English, with linking, reductions, contractions, rhythm, and natural expressions. When you learn these patterns, something amazing happens. You begin to hear English the way native speakers hear it. And that's what we're building in this podcast step by step. Now that you understand the patterns behind natural speech linking, reductions, drop sounds, and rhythm, let's talk about something just as important: the psychology of listening. Because understanding fast English isn't only about your ears, it's also about your mind, your emotions, and how your brain reacts in real time. In fact, many learners already know enough English to understand fast conversations, but they freeze, panic, or feel overwhelmed, and that blocks comprehension. Let's unpack this step by step. 1. Your brain is not slow, it's just busy. When you listen to your first language, your brain recognizes sounds instantly. It knows the patterns automatically. But when you listen to English, especially fast English, your brain needs a little more time to process. What sound is that? What word is that? What is the meaning? Is this grammar familiar? Do I know this accent? All of these questions happen unconsciously. But here's the problem. Real conversations don't pause while your brain tries to decode everything. So instead of staying calm, your mind starts saying, I'm behind, I'm lost. I didn't catch that, I'm going to miss the next sentence too. And that stress makes comprehension even harder. 2. Panic makes English sound faster. Have you ever noticed this? When you feel nervous, English suddenly seems twice as fast. This isn't your imagination, it's a real psychological effect. When you panic, your brain focuses on the fear, not the sound. You become more aware of what you don't understand, instead of what you do understand. This creates a loop. You miss a word, you panic. You miss more words, you panic again. The cycle repeats until your brain gives up. But here's the good news. You can break this cycle with the right listening habits. 3. Stop trying to catch every single word. This is one of the most common mistakes learners make. You listen to someone speaking and you try to catch word by word by word. But English is not built that way. It's built around keywords, context, and main ideas. Let's look at an example. So, I was running late this morning, but I still managed to grab a quick coffee before heading out. If you catch only, late morning grab coffee heading out, you already understand the main idea. You don't need every detail to follow the conversation. Native speakers don't listen for every word. They listen for the words that matter. 4. Your brain learns faster when you relax. Think about when you listen to music in a language you don't know. At first, it's just noise. After a few listens, you start to recognize certain words. Then, suddenly, a whole phrase becomes clear. You didn't study. You didn't take notes. Your brain simply relaxed and absorbed the patterns. Listening to English works the same way. If you stay calm and focus on meaning, not perfection, your comprehension improves much faster. 5. You don't need to understand 100% to communicate. This is a huge mindset shift. In real conversations, even native speakers don't catch every word. They miss things too. They ask, "What was that? Sorry, come again. Could you repeat that?" Missing words isn't a failure, it's normal. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is communication. Once you stop judging yourself, your brain becomes more open, more flexible, and more ready to process fast English. 6. Listening is a trainable skill, not a talent. You don't need a good ear. You don't need natural talent. Anyone can train their listening skills, just like training a muscle. Every time you listen, your brain gets faster. Your ear becomes more sensitive. Your recognition of patterns becomes automatic. Your confidence increases. The key is not listening once. The key is listening every day, even for a short time. 5 to 10 minutes of focused listening daily is far more effective than an hour once a week. 7. A mindset that helps you understand more. Here's the mindset that will help you in every listening situation. I don't need to understand everything. I just need to understand enough to follow the idea. This mindset removes pressure. Suddenly, English feels less like a test and more like a conversation. When your brain feels safe, calm, and curious, you naturally understand more. Now that you understand the psychology behind listening, it's time to move into the core principles, the practical, everyday rules that will help you understand fast English more easily. These are the same principles I use when teaching students from A2 all the way to C1. They work across all accents, all learning styles, and all situations. Think of this part as your toolbox. The more you use these tools, the more automatic your listening becomes. Principle 1: don't aim for 100%, aim for the main idea. Students often think, if I don't understand everything, I'm failing. But real communication doesn't work that way. In fast English, understanding 70–80% is usually enough to follow the conversation. Here's why. Your brain naturally fills in the missing pieces when the context is clear. For example, so yesterday I was kinda tired, but I still went out with my cousin, and we ended up trying this new noodle place downtown. Even if you only catch, yesterday tired went out, cousin new noodle place, you fully understand the situation. That's how native speakers listen too. So stop chasing every tiny word. Focus on the message, not the noise. Principle 2: use context like a native speaker. Context saves you every time. For example, if someone says, "I'm gonna grab something real quick," the meaning changes depending on the situation. In a cafe, maybe coffee or a snack. At school, a book or notebook. At home, a phone charger or keys. You don't need to hear the object clearly because the situation tells you the answer. Your brain becomes much faster when you let context guide your understanding. Principle 3. Train your ear to recognize common reductions. Reduced forms appear constantly in fast English. Here are some of the most common reductions you must recognize instantly. Gonna, going to, wanna, want to, gotta, have, got to, must, have to, kinda, kind of, sorta, sort of, lemme, let me, gimme, give me, dunno, don't know, oughta, out of. You hear these in podcasts, YouTube videos, music, daily conversations, phone calls, interviews, movies, and series. The more familiar these forms become, the less confused you'll feel when listening at natural speed. Make them your friends. Principle 4. Shadowing, the most powerful listening exercise. Shadowing is simple. Choose a short audio clip, 10-15 seconds. Listen carefully. Then speak at the same time as the speaker. Copy their rhythm, speed, and tone. The goal is not perfect pronunciation. The goal is training your brain to recognize natural patterns. If the speaker says, "What you up to today?" don't say, "What are you up to today?" Say it like they do. "What you up to today?" Your ears and mouth work together, and your listening becomes faster and more accurate. Shadowing for just 2 minutes a day can completely change the way you understand English. Principle 5. Listen multiple times. Repetition is magic. When you listen once, everything feels fast. When you listen again, it becomes clearer. By the third or fourth time, you suddenly understand almost everything. This doesn't mean you're weak. It means your brain is learning to recognize the sound patterns. Professional interpreters, advanced learners, and language teachers all use repetition. It's one of the most effective tools you have. Principle 6. Gradually explore different accents. At first, choose one accent to focus on, maybe American or British. But later, slowly expose yourself to others: Canadian, Australian, Irish, Scottish, South African, New Zealand, regional U.S. accents. Real life is full of different voices. If you train your ear step by step, accents stop being scary, they become interesting. And over time, your listening becomes flexible and strong. Principle 7. Mix active listening with passive listening. Active listening means focusing, repeating, shadowing, writing down words, listening carefully for details. Passive listening means English in the background while cooking, listening during your commute, playing English podcasts while relaxing. Both are important. Active listening builds skill. Passive listening builds familiarity. Together, they help your brain adjust to fast English naturally. Daily exercise plan, 10 to 15 minutes. Here's a simple routine that works for A2, B1, B2, and C1 learners. 1 minute, play a short clip with subtitles. 1 minute, play it again without subtitles. 3 minutes, shadow the sentences. 2 minutes, listen again and try to catch reductions. 5 minutes, repeat the clip until it feels comfortable. If you follow this for just 2-3 weeks, your listening speed will increase drastically. You now have the key principles for understanding fast English, but there's something just as important: avoiding the mistakes that slow learners down. These mistakes are extremely common, and many learners don't even realize they're doing them. But once you stop these habits, your listening will improve much faster and feel far less stressful. Let's walk through them clearly and simply. Mistake 1: trying to decode every sound like a machine. A lot of learners listen like this: I must understand this word, and this word, and this word, and this word. But real English doesn't work in single pieces, it works in phrases, rhythm, and meaning groups. When you try to decode every sound, your brain becomes overloaded within seconds. You've probably experienced this. You're listening to someone speak. You miss one word, you panic, and suddenly you miss the entire sentence. This happens because your brain is busy trying to solve the past instead of following the present. Understanding fast English requires forward movement. Don't chase the words behind you. Stay with the words in front of you. Mistake 2: only listening to slow, clear English. This is one of the biggest traps. Many learners only listen to teachers, beginner videos, language apps, slow English recordings, clearly pronounced dialogues. These are helpful for building foundations, but they cannot train you for real-life English, where speech is connected, casual, and fast. If you only listen to slow English, your ear becomes comfortable, but not strong. It's like exercising with a weight that's too light. You feel safe, but you don't grow. To build real confidence, you need both: slow English for clarity, fast English for real understanding. The balance is what transforms your listening skills. Mistake 3: listening once and giving up. This is extremely common. A learner listens to a movie scene or a podcast clip I don't understand, and then they stop. But here's the truth. First listen. Confusing. Second listen. More familiar. Third listen. Recognizable. Fourth listen. Clear. Repetition isn't boring, it's how your brain learns patterns. Native speakers don't learn new phrases the first time they hear them. They learn through repetition in daily life. Listening once and quitting is like reading half a sentence and expecting to understand the whole story. Give your brain the opportunity to adjust. Mistake 4: getting discouraged too quickly. Many learners say, I'll never understand real English. My listening is terrible. I'm not good enough. But let me tell you a secret. Every English learner, even the ones who are fluent now, has felt exactly the same. Understanding fast English is not a special talent. It's a skill built from my daily exposure, consistent listening, repeated patterns, staying calm, and believing improvement is possible. Your mindset affects your listening more than you think. When you feel confident, your brain focuses on meaning. When you feel discouraged, your brain focuses on fear. Stay patient. Progress comes naturally with time. Mistake 5: translating while listening. This is a big one. Some learners try to translate every word into their native language while listening. This slows your brain down so much that you can't keep up with real conversation. Think about this. Fast English can have 4-6 words per second. Your brain doesn't have time to translate each one. The solution: train your brain to think in English one idea at a time, not word by word. This is why listening to everyday phrases helps your brain becomes familiar with the concepts, not just the vocabulary. Mistake 6. Focusing too much on grammar while listening. Grammar is useful for speaking and writing, but during listening, grammar can actually slow you down. Many learners hear a sentence and immediately think, "What tense is that? Is that the past perfect? Was that conditional?" But native speakers don't think about grammar while listening. They follow the story, the situation, and the emotion. When you focus too much on grammar during listening, you lose the natural flow. Listening is not an exam, it's communication. Focus on keywords, tone, emotion, context, main idea. Grammar understanding will come naturally with enough exposure. Mistake 7. Avoiding real, everyday English. Some learners don't listen to casual conversations, street interviews, podcasts, shows with real people, public conversations, natural dialogues, because they feel they aren't ready. But the best time to start listening to real English is now, even if it feels difficult at first. Real English teaches you rhythm, natural stress, slang, tone of voice, how people interrupt, how people pause, how real conversations move. These skills cannot be learned from textbooks. Mistake 8. Expecting instant results. Learning to understand fast English takes consistent exposure, not magic. But here's the comforting truth. If you listen every day, even 5 to 10 minutes, your ear becomes sharper without you noticing. Then one day, without trying, you watch a video or hear a conversation, and you understand more than ever before. This moment happens to every dedicated learner. It will happen to you, too. Avoiding these mistakes makes learning easier. When you stop doing these things, two big changes happen. Your listening becomes smoother and more natural. Your confidence increases dramatically. You don't feel stressed. You don't feel behind. You don't feel lost. Instead, English becomes something familiar, something your brain recognizes and feels comfortable with. You've learned the principles. You've identified the mistakes. Now let's make your listening practice fun, practical, and something you will actually enjoy every day. Because the truth is simple. If you enjoy the process, you'll practice more. And if you practice more, you'll improve faster than you ever expected. Let's look at some creative, real-life practice ideas that learners around the world use successfully. Idea 1. Use your favorite shows and movies. This is one of the most powerful and enjoyable ways to train your ear. Instead of watching a full episode, choose a short scene, 20 seconds and 30 seconds or 1 minute. Then follow this process. Watch once with subtitles. Watch again without subtitles. Repeat the scene until your brain begins to recognize the sounds. Shadow a few sentences from the characters. Return the next day and watch the same scene again. Why does this work so well? Because the brain learns through repetition, familiarity, and enjoyment. And when you study something you already love, like a show you watch every night, your progress becomes natural and automatic. Idea 2. Play Guess the Missing Word. This turns listening into a game, and your brain loves games. How it works. Pick a short audio clip, a song line, a podcast moment, or a YouTube clip. Pause after a phrase. Ask yourself what word should be here. Then replay and check the real answer. This trains your brain to predict meaning, not chase every sound. Predictive listening is something native speakers do constantly. You can train that skill in a simple, fun way. Idea 3. Copy your favorite actors, YouTubers, or singers. Choose a voice you enjoy. Actors from movies, singers you love, creators you follow. Take one single line and imitate it. Speed, intonation, rhythm, emotion, stress. You don't need to be perfect, the goal is to feel the language. This practice sharpens your listening like nothing else because you're training both your ear and your voice to work together. When your mouth learns the rhythm, your ear understands it more easily. Idea 4. Record yourself and compare. Most learners never try this, but it's one of the most transformative exercises you can do. Here's how. Choose a short sentence from a video. Record yourself repeating it. Compare your recording with the original. Notice differences in speed, stress, and tone. Why is this powerful? Because you hear English differently when you listen to your own voice using natural rhythms. It creates awareness, and awareness is how improvement begins. Idea 5. Use English in micro moments throughout your day. You don't need a full study session to improve your listening. You can train your ear in small moments. While brushing your teeth, while making coffee, while waiting for a bus, while walking, during a short break at work, while cooking dinner. These micro moments add up quickly. 2 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 5 minutes before bed. In 1 week, you might easily reach over an hour of comfortable, low-pressure listening. And because these moments are natural, your brain learns without stress. Idea 6. Listen to real people, not just lessons. Language lessons are useful, but real conversations with pauses, natural speed, laughter, interruptions, and emotion train your listening in a deeper way. Try listening to street interviews, casual vlogs, podcasts with friends talking, real conversations on social media, Q&A videos, behind-the-scenes clips, travel videos with spontaneous dialogue. The more real people you listen to, the easier it becomes to understand the unpredictable nature of everyday speech. Real life is not scripted. Training with real voices prepares you for the real world. Idea 7. Use songs to build rhythm recognition. Songs are great because they repeat. They are catchy. They train your ear automatically. Lyrics help you follow the message. Rhythm builds phrase recognition naturally. Try this exercise. Choose a simple song. Listen once without reading lyrics. Then look at the lyrics and follow along. Sing or hum the rhythm. Repeat the song another day. Even humming the melody helps your ear feel the stress patterns in English. Music teaches listening faster than many textbooks. Idea 8. Talk back to your audio. This is a fun one. When you're listening to a clip and you clearly understand a sentence, pause the audio and respond to it. For example, audio. I'm thinking about getting coffee. Oh, nice. I had coffee earlier. Audio. I didn't sleep well last night. I slept okay. This builds speaking confidence, listening fluency, conversation habits, natural response patterns. You're not just listening, you're participating. Learning can be serious and fun at the same time. If you mix these practice ideas with the principles from earlier, you learn faster. You stay motivated. You feel less stressed. You understand more real English. You build confidence without forcing it. Listening stops feeling like a challenge and starts feeling like something you genuinely enjoy. And that's when real progress begins. You've learned the principles, the mistakes, and the fun ways to practice. But there's one more part of the journey that every learner experiences, and it's something we don't talk about enough. Motivation, consistency, believing you can improve even when it feels slow. Because listening is not like studying vocabulary or grammar. Progress happens quietly, gradually, almost invisibly, until suddenly one day, English feels clearer than before. So let's talk about how to stay motivated, patient, and confident during this journey. 1. Progress in listening is often silent. Many learners expect results after one day, one video, or 1 week. But listening doesn't improve in big, dramatic moments. It improves the same way music becomes familiar. The more you hear it, the more recognizable it becomes, the easier it feels. At first, English sounds like a blur. Then slowly you hear one word, then two, then a whole sentence. This is normal. This is progress. And even when you don't see improvement, your brain is still learning patterns in the background. You're improving even when you don't feel it yet. 2. Celebrate every small win. Most learners only celebrate big breakthroughs. I understood the whole movie. I understood everything in this podcast. But the real journey is made of small victories, like catching a phrase you used to miss, recognizing a reduction like gonna instantly, understanding a fast question at work, hearing lyrics in an English song for the first time, following a conversation without subtitles, feeling less nervous during listening. These wins matter. These wins build confidence, and confidence builds momentum. If you celebrate small wins, your motivation grows naturally. 3. Don't compare your English to someone else's. Everyone learns at a different speed. Everyone has a different life, different exposure, different challenges. But many learners think they improve faster than me. They understand more than I do. I'm behind. Comparing yourself to others is one of the fastest ways to lose motivation. Instead, compare yourself to your past self. Today, I understood more than last month. I feel calmer during listening now. Fast English doesn't scare me as much anymore. That's real progress, and it only belongs to you. 4. Understand that confusion is a part of learning. Being confused doesn't mean you're failing. It means your brain is growing. In fact, confusion is a healthy sign that your mind is processing new information. Think about when kids learn their first language. They hear thousands of hours of fast speech before they ever speak clearly. They don't understand everything. They just keep listening, and eventually clarity arrives. You're doing the same thing now. Confusion is not the enemy. Quitting is. 5. Stay consistent, even on the bad days. You won't feel motivated every day. Nobody does. But consistency beats motivation every time. If you can listen 5 minutes today, 7 minutes tomorrow, 3 minutes the next day, 10 minutes another day, you'll keep moving forward. You don't need perfect days, you just need regular days. Small steps lead to big results. 6. Remember why you started. Take a moment now and think, why do you want to understand English better? For work, for travel, for study, for confidence, to talk to friends or colleagues, to feel respected and understood, to enjoy movies, podcasts, interviews without subtitles. Your reason matters. Your reason is the engine behind your progress. Whenever you feel frustrated, return to that reason. Let it remind you why this journey is worth it. 7. Your future self will thank you. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, understanding conversations without panic, watching English videos comfortably, catching reductions you used to miss, speaking more naturally because you understand more, feeling proud of how far you've come. That version of you exists, and every minute you spend listening today brings you closer to that reality. Your future self will look back and say, I'm so glad I didn't give up. 8. You are closer than you think. Most learners underestimate their progress, but the fact that you're here listening, practicing, staying consistent already puts you far ahead of millions of learners who gave up. You're building a real skill, a life skill, a communication skill that will open doors everywhere you go. And no matter your level A2, B1, B2, C1, you are already moving in the right direction. You just need to keep going. Welcome back. Let's bring everything together and wrap up today's episode with a clear review and a message I want you to remember long after this video ends. You've learned a lot today, so here's a simple breakdown of the most important ideas. Key takeaways from today's episode. 1. Fast English isn't fast, it's connected. Native speakers link words, reduce sounds, drop consonants, and speak in natural rhythm. Once you learn those patterns, English becomes predictable instead of confusing. 2. You don't need to catch every word. Understanding is about main ideas, not perfection. Your brain is smart, trust it to fill in the gaps. 3. Context is your best friend. You don't need every detail when the situation tells you the meaning. Good listeners use context, tone, and keywords, just like native speakers. 4. Shadowing, repetition, and short daily practice work wonders. Even 10-15 minutes a day can transform your listening. Small, consistent steps beat long, irregular sessions. 5. Mistakes are not failures. They're part of the process. Don't chase every sound. Don't avoid fast English. Don't quit after one try. Don't translate word by word. Your listening grows through exposure, not pressure. 6. Make learning fun. Use movies, songs, YouTubers, street interviews, and short real-life clips. When learning feels enjoyable, progress happens naturally. 7. Stay patient, stay positive. Confidence comes from daily practice, not perfection. Celebrate every small improvement, they matter more than you think. Before we close, I want to speak to you directly, not as a teacher, but as someone who has watched thousands of learners succeed. Understanding fast English is absolutely possible. Not for talented people, not for lucky people, but for anyone who shows up, listens regularly, and keeps moving forward. Your ears will get faster. Your understanding will get clearer. Your confidence will grow stronger. And one day, maybe sooner than you expect, you'll watch a movie or hear a conversation on the street and think, wow, I understood that. That didn't feel hard at all. That moment will come. Every minute you spend listening today brings you closer to it. So keep going, keep practicing, keep showing up for yourself. You're building a skill that will stay with you for life. Thank you so much for joining me today on English in Motion. I hope this episode gave you clarity, confidence, and a new way to approach fast English. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it with friends who are learning English, and tell me in the comments which part helped you the most today. Your progress matters. Your effort matters. And I'm honored to be part of your English journey. I'll see you in the next episode where we continue learning, practicing, and improving together. Have a wonderful day and keep moving forward with confidence. You've got this.